Hi all, welcome back to Nodejs tutorial course. I hope you all have watched my previous sessions which explains about introduction, features, how to set up Node.js and its ID, V8 engine examples, global object examples, and also had few live coding sessions as well. Okay, so if you have not watched, please do watch, and I have shared the links in the description box. Okay. Today I'm here to explain you all about REPL, which I'll be also showing some live example on how to use those in our development. Okay, first I would like to explain about REPL. Okay, so Node.js, right? It comes by default with some virtual environment, which is nothing but REPL. Okay, it's a shell. Okay, and what is REPL, right? So REPL stands for Read, Eval, Print, and Loop. Okay, so let me explain what does that each refers to. Okay, so so it reads user inputs and it passes the user's input into JavaScript data structure and stores in memory. So basically, whatever you write in that command or the shell, right? It actually takes that input and parse it and then stores into the memory. Okay, what is eval? So eval means whatever you pass or read into a memory, right? It tries to evaluate that particular data structure. And what is print? So it whatever the evaluated result is, that it is going to print as a result. Okay, and what is this loop? So it loops the above command until user press the control C twice. Okay, so basically this shell gets continuously executed until you press the control plus control C twice. Okay, this is about REPL, read, eval, print, and loop. Okay, so basically it is a quick and easy way to test simple Node.js code, and it specifies a it gives an environment like how we have console or a terminal in our Windows or Mac, right, where you enter the commands and see the system responds with an output in an interactive mode, right? So that is what this REPL is used for in Node.js environment. Okay. Next, let me walk you guys through some of the live coding examples using REPL, and we'll give what all the options are available in the REPL scenarios. Okay. Okay. Now let's see how to start REPL. REPL. Okay. Read, evaluate, print, and loop terminal. Okay. So here I'm going to use a Visual Studio integrated terminal where you can access with the new terminal, or and when you open new terminal you'll be able to see this terminal populated here. Okay, so you can start REPL or REPL by simply running node on the command prompt. Okay, let's see how does that work. Okay, so here you go. You can you can see your the shell or the terminal for node has been uh, come up. Okay, which is just as simple as it. You just type node in your command prompt or the integrated terminal and you'll be able to get into the node shell. Okay, so next let's see how to perform a simple expressions using the REPL shell or the terminal. Okay, so let's write a simple put like mathematical expression and see how it is going to evaluate and print the result. Okay, so let's type 30 plus 20, and you guys can see already the result is populated in a terminal. Okay, and I'll just do 25 and you guys can see the results are in, so which is 25. Okay, let me do another example, like 20 plus 12 plus, we can just put some multiplication into this, and you guys can see value is 47. So this is the simple example of using a expressions or a mathematical expressions in the terminal, Node.js REPL terminal. Okay. Next, let's see how to use the variables within this REPL terminal. Okay, so variables basically are used to store the values, and you can use that value later for any of your expressions. Okay, but till that terminal closes. So if you don't use var keyword, then what happens is the value is stored in the variable and printed. Whereas if var keyword is used, then value is stored but it is not printed. Okay, so you can print variables using console.log, like how we use this logging mechanism in our normal JavaScript. We can also do the same thing. So let's try to give a variable a value that is 45. Okay, and that value is getting stored in variable a. Okay, so here whenever we don't specify in a var there, right, what happens is it will print the value. In case if we specify the var for that variable, then it doesn't print. So let's see how that works. B equal to 30. As you can see, it is given undefined because we have assigned a var with that particular variable b. Hence, it is not printing it. Okay. Next, let me just try to sum this a and b to see if the values are getting accessed and it is getting summed up. Okay. So a plus, you guys can see 45 plus 30, which is equal to 75. And let me try to use one example of console dot log, how we can use that within this REPL terminology, REPL terminal. Okay, hello, my first console in REPL. Yes, it actually printed the console to my terminal. Next, let's see how to write the code in our REPL terminal as a multi-line expressions. Okay, so let's start with variable var x equal to 0. Okay, and as you said, it will give undefined because we have given a var as a declaration. Okay, let's try to use our do while loop and see how that works. Okay, so whenever you write do and you just give a flower bracket, then it gives that three dot to indicate there is something we have to write. Okay, so let me just give inside, let me increment that x for now. Okay, and I'll try to print using console log the x value. Okay, okay, and then we'll see, and what we will do is we'll execute this do while until x less than 10. Okay, so we'll mention as x less than 10. Okay, so after the time you press enter, this loop will be executed and it will print the value, the x value is till 10. See, you guys can see the value has been printed from 1 till 10. Now let's see how to use the underscore variable in REPL. So what does it mean? Means the underscore variable is mainly used to get the last outputted result. Okay, so let's try to give now if you see here, if you give the underscore, it gives undefined because it has this undefined at the last result, right? So let's try to give var a equal to 20 and var b equal to 30, and let's do a plus b, and now let's try to put underscore here. So you guys can see the last result has been printed in this terminal. Next, let's see how to get access to the history of our previous lines of code which is executed in the current or the even previous REPL sessions. Okay, so we can use this up arrow key to get those previous lines of code. So let's see how that we can do. So I'm just pressing the up arrow key here. You can see underscore is the previous lines of code, and if you want even previous lines of code, then you can press once again up arrow a plus b, then you will get where b is equal to 30 followed with a is equal to 20. Okay, so this is how the up arrow works, where you can use it to get the previous lines of code. So REPL also has this autocomplete feature where, as you see in other programming language also, the time you type something, it will give you a suggestions and you can just tab on it to get the or continue that coding, right? So here in REPL also we have this tab key which helps us to do autocomplete feature. So let's try to type console, and you guys can see it's suggesting console, and I'm just pressing tab here and then followed with log. So here also you guys can see it is suggesting console log, and let me just put to complete. Sorry, it's not complete, hence it is giving this. Okay, next let's see how to explore this JavaScript objects, and see how we can use that feature in REPL. Okay, so whenever we need to know, for example, we have string or number JavaScript classes, right? And if you need to know what are the properties or the method you have within it, right? So there is a feature in REPL where you can type that class followed with dot, and then you press a tab, then you'll be able to see all the properties and methods associated with that JavaScript class. Okay, let's see how does it show. So let me just try to get phone number. Okay, and I'll just put dot and then followed with tab. Okay, so here you guys can see these are the properties and methods available for a number class. And same way, let me see for string and tab it, you get the properties and methods associated with string. So now let's see how you can see or inspect the globals, whatever is available within the Node.js, right? Similar to how we saw this JavaScript class properties and methods, even we can also see what are the objects, so the properties and methods available for the global objects. So even here also we need to do the same thing. We have to just type global dot and then followed with tab. So these are the global uh, properties and methods available which can be accessed in our code. Let's see now how what are the commands we have in which can be used in this terminal. Okay, so the first one is control C. Basically this is used to terminate the current command. So if I have to do a control C, it executes the current command, and and if you press 1 second control C, basically it is going to terminate the entire node Repl session. So let me give it a try. can see it has been executed and it has come out from that node session. Okay, so let me again go back there. Okay, and here there is another command, control D, where you can use similar to how we can use the control C twice for terminating the session. So let me give a try that. As you can see, it has been executed, exited from that session again. So let me enter again. Okay, and if you as I told you earlier, we have this up arrows to see the previous history. So these are the up arrows which we can use to see the previous lines of code, and we have tab keys which actually specifies the list of current commands. So let me just press tab, and you guys can see these all are the list of current commands which is available in this REPL session. Okay, and if there is another command called help, e.help, which will list you all the help, all the commands which can be used in your REPL session. Okay, dot break, this is mainly used to exit any multi-line expressions. Like dot break and dot clear is the one which you can actually use in case if you are in the multi-line, how we wrote the do while loop, right? If you are in between and you want to just come out from this, you can just type dot break or dot clear. Okay, and now if you want to save this entire lines of code which you have executed in this REPL, we also have a command called dot save with my first REPL file. Okay, so if you give this, whatever you have executed here, the lines of code will be saved to that file. You guys can see this file has been created. If I just open it, it is nothing because I don't have anything added here. So let me just give a simple commands here just to see how does that work. Okay, simple addition, I'm just going to do it. Okay, now let me run my first REPL. Okay, so you guys can see that my entire list of uh, commands or lines of code which I have ran in this session has been saved into my first REPL file. Okay, and you have some files like this, and if you want to load that file into your session, you also have an option called dot load my first file. As you can see, this has been loaded here. Okay, so this is about the list of REPL commands which we have in to be used in this Node.js RPL. Okay, so now let's see how we can import REPL in JavaScript file using a REPL model, REPL model. Okay, for that, let me just create a new file here called my REPL.js. Okay, and here let me import REPL equal to require of, we have a module name called REPL. Okay, once you import it, you can start this terminal by using a simple command called const REPL local equal to REPL dot, we need to use dot start to start the terminal. Okay, so now let me exit from this REPL terminal and just let me clear this off, and let me run this node my REPL.js, and you guys can see my REPL terminal has been started, and I can start writing a equal to 20, const b equal to 30, a plus b. Here you go. So now we can also print, for example, whenever this REPL is getting terminated or exited, right? We can also cache that exit event, and then we can put some console log. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, Repl local dot on, so on is, it's again event based, right? So on here, and we will do a callback function, and we can write a simple login telling this my Repl session is exited. Okay, and we can just give like process dot exit. Okay, sorry. Okay, now let's terminate this and clear this off, and let's run my file, my Repl.js again. Okay, now again it started, the triple session has been started, and let's give a simple a is equal to 20, and let me try to terminate this. Okay, this is first control C, another one with this, and you guys can see my Repl session is exited. So it cached the exit event, and then it has printed the console log, and then it exited this process altogether. Okay, so we are into the end of this session, and now I hope you all have a good idea about what is this REPL, read, eval, print and looping, and how it works, and how we can use this with a live examples. Correct. So in next section, I would be explaining more about Node.js basic syntax and few examples on the same. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. If you like my session, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you in next session. Thank you.